Hello out there, Earthling peeps. I have another video. I got this message and it felt really strong. Was connecting with my benevolent beings that are working with me. I always say that we have a team of beings that work with us. We have our human spirit guides, but we can also have our non-human spirit guides who are our star uh, beings, right? Our teams around us. And I really felt guided to give this message today. But before I go into giving this message, if you're new to my channel and you like my videos, I really would appreciate it. If you haven't done it already, if you can subscribe or hit like, or even better, do both. It will really help me for the algorithm and the message that the message is, when I'm channeling in that, I'm being guided to give. Okay, and today's a really interesting topic, and if the grammar is not good on here, that has nothing to do with the meanings. That was just me trying to type this all up to where I'm not sitting there going, so I'm trying to get better about that, okay? But today's topic is what it is to be, what does it mean to truly be awakened, okay? So here we go, and I'm just going to read it off. What does it mean to be truly awakened? There's a lot of people grabbing on to what has now become a catchphrase by saying, I'm awakened. However, the viewpoints seem to have become, with some, somewhat blurred in the meaning, okay? Let me see. I'm losing my place because it's tiny writing. Okay. I'll just try. I'm going to read most of it, but let me put this out here that what I was being told was people think that, well, as long as that you are not thinking in the black and white, you know there's other beings out there who are trying to connect with us from the cosmos, and that is part of the awakening, but it's not all of the awakening. I was being told that the biggest part of awakening is the part that should be the most simple. It's having love, okay? But not just love for only those like ourselves. Having love for groups of people maybe you don't agree with, okay? Now, if they're out committing atrocities and all that, nobody is saying you have to approve or condone their actions or their horrible behavior. And I'm not talking just Joe Mo down the road. I'm talking about even like when it comes to big world leaders and that you don't have to have, approval, especially if they're doing terrible, cruel things, obviously, okay? But by sending love, you are then not taking on their hatred, okay? Because this is very important, and this is what I was being told today, was that if we truly want to be awakened, we have to do the whole package. It isn't just a case of, well, I want to connect with these beings or this beings or that beings from the cosmos and that. But meanwhile, holding your thing as if you have some kind of entitlement. Well, I'm awakened. Like you have, something so much more special about you and your friends that you hang out with, and only you guys are the ones who are truly going to be awakened and other people are not. That's very arrogant, and it's getting lost in your ego trips, because this is not what the message is. We are all on a path to true awakening, right? And it goes upon if we are going to actually allow ourselves to be humble and to accept that path with not arrogance, with not assuming that only people who look and act like yourself are going to be the ones that are going to be so awakened. Or if you know people and maybe they're on the fence about things and that. We have to be careful not to think, well, they're just brain dead. They think that, you know, their theory is that, oh, they're, you know, everything's in a little box and that's the way it is. Some people do think about that, okay, or do think like that. But the important thing is not to assume that they are not, that they haven't been called or are being called for a path of an awakening, and we are. Because every human is being called for the awakening, to be awakened, okay? So, but we're all on different learning levels. And when you turn around and feel as though there's just something more superior about you and people that you know, and you put yourselves in that nice little group, when you do that, you are separating yourself then from the all divine, the collective consciousness that we all want to be a part of, okay? That's raising our frequency. So, as in other videos, I have been told and saying, and it's not the easiest thing, about sending out love to even those that maybe really upset us or have done some terrible things. Nobody's telling you condone or approve of such actions. However, you do not want to take, if you start having all this animosity for these individuals or whatever, I don't care if they're your everyday Joe Blow or if they are some big leader in the world or whatever, or high up there, high ranking official, you have to be very careful. You don't want to take their, whatever their frustration, their anger and everything, you don't want to take that upon yourself and let that be who you then start to become. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important when we talk about being truly awakened from what the benevolent beings that I have communicated with, is that we have to find ways to find common ground. Obviously, I'm not talking about that we're going to be able to sit and have a chat with our, big wigs up there, world leaders and that. But I'm saying, like, we're with each other, right? With just your everyday Joe Blows and that, okay? Because as long as we are fighting each other, division is taking us, it's actually halting us from our awakening experience. So there's a lot more to being awakened than just knowing that there's star beings of the cosmos out there and nothing is black and white and all that. Yes, that is a big part of it, and we should embrace our benevolent beings of the cosmos. But the biggest strong message they're sending out there is you guys are so busy hating each other and turning against each other and attacking each other that you don't realize you're getting yourself caught up in this hamster wheel of this separation. You're separating yourself from the collective consciousness, okay? And you are then no longer being united. We are supposed to be united, okay? And one of the things is that with these beings, one of the reasons why they resonate so much higher than we do in that is because they have unconditional love for each other. Okay. Now, granted, humans, we don't have the luck of having like the universal knowledge like other beings and stuff may have, or as advanced, right? We have our human filters. However, we can, if we truly put our hearts out there, if we truly focus on that, when we get around others that are saying things that maybe don't align or feel right, and that to just remember, agree to disagree. Agreeing to disagree is the best thing you can do. That way you don't get caught up, because a lot of times what happens is we get online or you see a YouTube video and it's triggering. And then what happens? We start to spiral. And then all of a sudden your energy is just going down. And when we do that, we're then essentially removing ourselves from what we are trying to work towards, which is being part of the collective consciousness and having unbiased love, okay? Sending love out, not loving bad behavior, but sending love and empathy, for people we don't know, and those who are doing terrible things, and that to just be like, you can send love and thoughts of that maybe they will, send out, please have, maybe I'm hoping and praying for you that you will have self-reflection, that you will have your eyes opened and begin to see the pain and the suffering that you're inflicting on others. Because there is no kind of benevolent being that's going to encourage you to have animosity and hate towards another human being. Because if you think they're benevolent and they're doing that, that is somebody who has ulterior motives. So you really want to be careful of that, because I know that from the ones that I have connected with, it's all about love. It's all about compassion. It's all about, finding ways that we can coexist and to try. Now, they know we're not perfect, but to try to be a lot less judgmental and basically focus more on what we do as ourselves to keep our energy up there. And basically that is the message for today. So I will do a little light language. Sorry about the background noise, but I'm outside and it's so much more comfortable than being in the car. So here we go. All right, guys, have a beautiful, amazing day, evening, wherever you are out in the world. I send you love. I send you hope and just all the beautiful joys, okay, that are out there, that still do exist even in these difficult times. All right, bye. Love you all.